afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. We're off here to a 1v1 on crossing in the woods to the north. It is IncaUna fighting for the Soviet Union, socialism. Comrade Stalin taking on the role here of the 20th Tank Corps with guard motor, urban defense, and shock rifle featuring triple infantry bulletins versus south. It is Miragefla fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland taking on the role here of the 13th Panzer Division here with assault support, mobile defense, and Jaeger infantry featuring double panzer grenades and one infantry bulletin here. And as always, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and press that bell button. Helps me and helps you, but primarily me. Also, big thanks to Seth for donating and supporting the Propagandacast with his hard-earned money. So big thanks to you, Seth. You're part of my company here, and you too can join it by donating it yourself or pledge on Patreon. Links are in the video description. The guy in the west side here for IncaUna in the center got constant eastwards there for him as well, going both sides basically as Mirage, floating hard eastwards with the Pioneers, the MD42 Grenadiers following up here in the wake of this small advance party of the German army. IncaUna's comes there boldly heading eastwards, and of course very boldly heading westwards with another constant support here in case the fighting would be happening here. This sort of build here allows also IncaUna in case just, in case, say, the western pushes where Mirage plays, in fact, all of his forces. He still has forces heading eastward, so he's less affected by that and won't be quite as badly pushed off. So, those are, I would say, some of the particulars behind this. And we got Mirage with assault support opening up for the artillery field officer, cargo trucks, strafing runs, fragmentation bombs, and the Tiger tank. More grenadiers there slowly on the way there. MD4 going to be setting up here. Imagine that's the conscripts. Then he's to be careful that he doesn't get rushed with the grenadiers nearby. That's going to be difficult here for IncaUna to pull off easily. Conscripts getting towards the base here, or at least the areas around here. Miragefla's base might harass, or could of course try and go for deep flank here behind Miragefla's front line. Not a bad idea. Miragefla currently has very few eyes there, so this could be a very strong move from IncaUna. Worth noting, he's not going for 4th conscript right here. He's not right away. Guess he's a bit preoccupied with the frontline matches. They go 4th one on the way. Miragefla's probably going to go for a 3rd Grenadier squad. They could go for, say, I don't know, a 2nd MD42 or a sniper. Or a mortar, though I don't think a mortar right now would be a particularly correct move. He could also take up here, or at least try to take up. There's going to need more fuel for that, and then, say, try and go up for some fast panzer grenadiers. 4th conscript almost done there. Miragefla's still not going for, say, additional troops. Pioneers leading the conscript close to the MP40, shredding the front of it with no mercy shown. Ground the point here. Over here, Grenadiers holding up the front line. As the MD42 is being doubled back here towards the carve point. Of course, leaves the entire east side here very exposed to a good push from IncaUna. But of course, the threat here around his base in this carve point obviously makes Miragefla a bit concerned. And he is, in fact, going for just a double Grenadier MD42 Tier 2 rush. That is an interesting one there. I mean, it's not a rare strategy in a sense, but most players would do this with, say, Ostrom, like, Jabba does, go for 2 Ostrom, then the MD42, and then take faster, but Miragefla is just sticking to 2 Grenadiers, 1 MD42, and then taking out there. Either way, effectively, a indictment again of the Grenadiers' performance and the fact you really want Panzer Grenadiers in the current matches, the Wehrmacht, or at least something better. In some way, like 5-man Grenadiers, and in this case, Miragefla pretty much just goes for Panzer Grenadiers. And he's also got 2 bulletins for them, so obviously improve their combat performance, so that obviously makes sense, but it is nonetheless noteworthy. Pioneers being westwards here, Engineers holding up there. Sandbags being quickly laid down here by the fuel point. Good work there by IncaUna, thumbs up. Grenadiers here versus the MD42 setting up here. They could rush it with the Molotov, that's exactly what's going to do there. Miragefla's got those Panzer Grenadier on the way, then we got the Molotov being flung through the air, right at the... Oh! Dear. Well, I guess someone gets a slight burn, but beyond that, not much. Panzer squad almost done there from Miragefla and the German army. Back here, Grenadiers reinforcing. I'm guessing we're going to see some light machine guns soon. They could also, of course, consider minesweepers or flamethrowers. Either way, IncaUna off to the strong side here was Miragefla. He's got control of both fuel points soon, and he's denied Miragefla a lot of fuel. So this could easily be used to, say, take a hit fast in Miragefla and leave Miragefla in a bit of a tight position. It's really going to rely then on Miragefla just getting those Panzer Grenadiers out in multiples and beginning to hit back at the IncaUna, since the conscripts do perform poorly versus the Panzer Grenadiers, who do, of course, have excellent firepower. We got minefield down here, exposing IncaUna's lack of minesweepers. Good work to Miragefla. Nice bit of foresight there. At least a nice just prediction, I guess. Grenadiers punching moving about here. Oh, machine I think was supposed to set up munitions, but did not. Hate when that happens personally. Like you set up a unit and they stand for some reason next to the point. It said you ordered them to do a bit of sightseeing. and not actually grabbing the point. Second Panzer Squadron over Mirage, so there's going to be 2 Grenadiers, 2 Panzer Grenadier. That's going to be a lot of firepower here for him. And certainly a bit of a challenge here for IncaUna's conscripts. He will definitely need more firepower for them. I need to bring up something like Guardsmen or Shock Troopers to really test those Panzer Grenadiers and keep them in check. I'll advancing here with the Panzer Grenadier. Panzer Grenadiers here. Machine gun wing to deal with that again. Note Miragefla is fast and fluid use of the machine gun, reacting to hotspots and all that. Very crucial as the Wehrmacht, so good work for the Miragefla. 2 thumbs up. Always recommendable to use your machine guns actively. Grab the northern point, grab the eastern point here as well, looking to reclaim it. Got the Panzers moving up in there, go both conscripts falling back, since with the MD-42 backing them up, the conscripts stand a real chance here against those Panzer Grenadier. Got the point up here, very good. Fun fact about Panzer Grenadiers, though, basically just, you know, the German equivalent of Mechanized infantry, though the previous title before they got the name change was actually Schützen. Then after 1942, the losses of Stalingrad, you know, North Africa, along with the Grenadiers, you know, basic German infantry becoming the Grenadiers, the Schützen became Panzer Grenadier. There would be other, shall we say, formal titles for them. For example, the Großdeutschland had Panzerfusiliers, but they're effectively just Panzer Grenadiers as well. So a little fun fact there. MD-42 moving up there. Panzer Squad ready to move westwards. Otherwise, what noteworthy thing about Panzer Grenadiers, though, basically just Grenadiers, but with more weapons and better training. Oh, just better quality troops. The whole assault rifle thing was, shall we say, a much later war thing that came about by, shall we say, late 1944-45, which is usually part of the initial Panzer Brigades. Later on, regular Panzer Divisions will to catch on with assault rifle equipped Panzer Grenadiers, but little fun fact there. Obviously, just be like heavily equipped with light machine guns. Bomb grenade off here, force retreat, they're very good. Comes to there being a bit of trouble. They could get from Molotov, but the problem is the Panzer in this position is just really good. Second squad moving up this way. Could see what? There we go. 250 half squad there from Miragefla. Very good there. Spawn cabinet for IncaUna. We'll have to see if it goes for the flamethrower upgrade. Actually, use to mechanize his troops. That'd be delightful to see. In which case, he definitely seems to be following in Jabba's footsteps. Hopefully, he doesn't start blowing up his own men as well. That'd be... I think that'd be emulating Jabba too far. Too far. Never blow up your own men. Anyways, Conscript shouting to the Grenadiers with the light machine. They're a bit outmanned, outnumbered. 250 moving up the Mittler Schützen Panzerwagen. Usually be the 1st Battalion of a Panzer Grenadier Division. That would be equipped in armoured half-tracks. They would be known then as a gepanzerte Panzergrenadier Abteilung or Battalion. Little fun fact there as well. Gepanzerte basically meaning armoured. Quickly popping in there, managed to use the healing. Very good there by Miragefla. A nice little handy side effect of the half-track. Plus, of course, the Panzer Grenadiers just become a lot more mobile. You can quickly ferry them from hotspot to hotspot, put pressure on your opponents, and just really keep them under a lot of pressure. Obviously, light vehicles are going to suck, but if you handle it correctly, you know, you can actually just really help deal with one of the Wehrmacht's main issues, which again is you just tend to struggle with mobility. Gain that mobility, as in the early game, and sort of, you know, try and, you know, utilize your opponent's lack of mechanized infantry to win ahead. Then that's, you know, one of the ways that you can sort of, you know, gain an edge. So they do still wish they slightly apply some extra benefits to the 250 and a half track. But anyways, quick retreat here from IncaUna. Of course, he's quite worried about Miragefla's mechanized infantry antics. He's going to, I think, to have to pop the Panzer Grenadiers here to screen out, but probably just disengages entirely. T-70 out here for IncaUna. Miragefla's got the pack forward in the way. They're obviously anticipating a light tank here to harry his half track. And go Panzer striking back. And of course, with the veterans who won bonus, they perform even better in the half track. But there you go, T-70 strikes. Needs to get that half track out, then treat the Panzer Grenadiers. Ooh, he's trying to stall here, I think. Or he's trying to pop them in and then disengage with the half track. Moving in the Grenadiers to falls away there. Pretty risky play here by Miragefla, pretty risky, but you know, sometimes no guts, no glory, as they say. MD4 trolling up here, pack forward ready, the Panzerabwehr 49. T-77 here fears some foe here. Half track, of course, reinforced healing the Panzers again. Sadly, they can't reinforce inside of the half track, though that would be a bit much, but it would be handy, it would be handy. Oh, quick popping out there, reinforcing healing, again, or reinforcing. 8 kills the veterans of 1, very good. IncaUna basically bypassing here. Miragefla's strong point in the center. Again, frontline reinforcing is a pretty potent ability. I mean, there's a reason why, for example, with, you know, certain fort places, like, you know, with the, they actually had to apply, you know, to the fort retreat points, like the Meg and all that, you know, penalty to reinforcement speeds, since always just, you know, it became too easy. So It's not like, this is a bad ability at all, because there's a more inherent risks with, say, a light vehicle like a half-track to do this, and it's much more easy to destroy it, like, say, a battle group headquarters, which, how it's typically done with the Oberkommando West. But little fun fact there, little fun fact, and a bit of shows a tactical note. Of course, in this case, you can move up on the retreat path as well. Of course, only marked with the T-70. Popping out the pants and the hose down the conscripts. Quickly doing a lot of damage, retreat. Forcing the retreat there. Could have probably gotten off an anti-tank grenade. But I imagine here from IncaUna, there's basically just him going, there's a chance we could actually lose all these assault rifles, lose a squadron, which would not be worth it. Also got the Pack 40 moving up there, very good. Panzer doing the engineers the conscripts. Goodbye to Ladnung, forcing retreat here. Engineers taking him on lost. T-75 from the Pack 40. Almost got the engineers here, almost. Close one there from Miragefla, but there you go. IncaUna strikes back and gonna get a wipe on the pants grenades. Punishing Miragefla, therefore, getting a bit too eager, a bit too greedy. Good kind of push there by IncaUna. Giving Miragefla's finger there a big fat whip. Leaving him smarting. No further tech there. He might want to, of course, consider another Panzer Grenadier squad or a artillery field officer. That could obviously good assault units add in there. After laying down mines as well. 2 thumbs up to Miragefla. Certainly a handy ability. Not the primary thing you want to get the half-tech for, but it's a nice bonus. It's a nice bonus, if you will. It's a nice bonus. There we go. We've got the artillery field officer up. Very nice there. 4-man with submachines and the 1-man with the Luger. I believe it's a Luger, anyways. Decent abilities, though, of course, it's the inspiring aura, the diversion, and the artillery smoke barrage are the main draws. Plus, you got like heavy mortar barrages, which is not bad either. You to treat those grenadiers to get the half to go there fast, except the half to, of course, is preoccupied far east. Got the officer moving up here. Closing down the conscript, close the MP40s, of course, the pistol there. Forcing retreat here, very good. Sickerbriad, they have pistols. Why don't we have them? Because they're small, idiot. Like, who can you hurt with a pistol? Well, except you. Check there from Mirage. There's going to be some armor there. It's still some time to go from get out the armor. After they're getting ready for the next big push. Coming moving up to reinforce. Heal. Light machines on the way there. Very good. Also right here with the T-70 light tank. Got 6 kills on it. Veterans you want. So using the center point here with the Frontovix. Back here reinforcement healing. And we got the field on the way there for IncaUna to help deal with the half-tech. Obviously, it's increasingly the engine becoming a bit of a nuisance here for IncaUna. That's the thing about a half-tech. And a well-handled half-tech is actually just really annoying for your opponent, because it just means you're really tough to push off your points, because again, you can just reinforce. Again, you just, in this case, also heal, so you're just really tough to get off a point there. Plus, again, you can just maintain attacks much more easily. So there's a lot there to it. But again, the half-tech itself is quite vulnerable, and that's obviously, shall we say, the main drawback. It quickly dies to like any concerted effort or any mistakes. Can also see it dead. But well handled, it can be a significant, shall we say, force multiplier for any German commander. Lots of mines here from IncaUna, very good. The last dozen minesweepers up though. Very good there. Trooping suppressed. Pack 40 setting up there as well. Half-track charging in there. A bold maneuver there, Miragefla. Perhaps a misclick. Hard to say. Support Corps is done. He could go for a fast Stug, fast Ostwind, of course, a Panzer IV. Meanwhile, back in IncaUna space, nothing going on. You could consider taking up soon. You could also consider going for fuel cache. Doctrinal choice would be nice if IncaUna. I mean, Barcelona's half-tech, but gas motor could be useful. Gas, of course, heavy mortars, all very potent and popular combinations here. Could go for shock troopers with shock rifle, KV8s, IS-2s. I mean, even urban defense has some usage, but I think at this point, urban defense may not quite be as valuable here for IncaUna at this state of the fight. But at the same time, the booby trap could be pretty good. And of course, shock troopers never hurt. Pack 40 getting really aggressive here. Bit risky there from Miragefla. Bit risky. Need to be careful not to extend and lose the Pack 40 to his opponent. That usually tends to lead to some very, very unhappy moments. So that is something worth keeping in mind there. And keeping an eye out for. Bring up these side here with the conscripts. Field gun there providing the grenadiers. Shot fired and missed. Back here, troops reinforcing. Picks on that 251.5 track. Close to 2. And we got a mortar from Miragefla. Bringing up some of his own. Not a bad idea. And there you go, another push here. Quickly routed. Again, the half-track forming up a strong nucleus. Mine goes off in the stream, blowing off someone's fingers and ears. And most importantly, their feet. Mortar on the way there. Almost ready here. IncaUna knows not to take up. He could consider some support of his own. Mortar be pretty good. Machine gun be pretty handy. Heck for about. No further tech yet here from Miragefla. Well, obviously he doesn't need it, but it's just making more armor-wise. You also need to fight more on the fuel points. Definitely feel like Miragefla could benefit from a bit more of an effort to defend the fuel points, or at least hit the other fuel points a bit more as well. Just a small thought there from me, since he's allowing actually IncaUna to get a significant fuel advantage, and this is something that could backfire on Miragefla if he's not careful. Also, at some point, Noble Blitz would be a bad idea rather to get him more resource. We've got the Panther there from Miragefla. CoH2 sending his ult converting on the center. Mortar spotted and mortar routed. Still no chance there on its own. Pack gets a good hit on the T-70. We got the air support ready as well, the strafing run. Half track, you need repairs. Quite bad. We've got the Pioneers moving up. Of course, Miragefla may want to soon consider bringing up another Pioneer squad to assist the repairs, and also just have more Pioneers about to grab stuff while it's going to use to do all the fighting. Always a good idea there. And we got smoke called in Miragefla's officer. Very good there. Friendly just being easily shot at, but also beats the opponent into closer range and into the effective range of the officer. So there's a double benefit there. Panther almost ready there from Miragefla and the German army. Constantly about their course bunching up. I'm just going to cover that maneuver. Very good. Panther already there from Miragefla. Will he move westwards to assist the officer? Will he move centerwards to try and push back there? Or will he move eastwards to support and push there? I mean, there's effectively three parts there. Miragefla could choose here. And there go Molotovs in the officer. Since with the smoke pretty much indicate where the officer was, you can just chuck Molotovs into it. Good work there by IncaUna. Thumbs up. Still, Miragefla does get both fuel points now for a brief while. More mines here from the half tech. Mortar there from Miragefla. Double mortars is an interesting pick here. An interesting pick. Not what I am used to seeing, but it's definitely not, I think, bad if you can sort of handle them, because you can again lay down a lot of artillery fire as your opponent, put pressure on them, plus also lay down significantly large smoke screens, which obviously has its benefits as well. There you go, double mortars here, and there you go, IncaUna finally commits to doctrine. It is Guard Motor, which also would have been my first pick here, particularly now when the opponents bring up double mortars. The heavy mortar could be a nice sort of counter pick. And of course, Guardsman is just really good, so, you know, makes sense. Tech as well there for IncaUna, thumbs up. Could have had that going sooner, but he's clearly aiming for the T for the 45, which will be a challenge here with Miragefla's Panzer IV, even the Pack 40. Great hit there on the constant though, no support nearby, not even say the half take up rushing some troops there. A possible mistake there, Miragefla, there you go, damaging his Panzer IV. We got the officer moving up here, but even then, Miragefla's extended the Panzer IV with no exit plan here. I mean, not even the mortars are nearby to lay down smoke screens there, so I feel like Miragefla might have committed a bit of a blunder. Mine goes off, it's dealt. Activity that does commit, force. IncaUna pull back, half tech hits another mine. Oh, Scheiße. Let's get out of there, schnell. Didn't lose the half tech either. Bit luck there for Miragefla. IncaUna very close to the T-35. There we go. Gets it as soon as he can. Thumbs up there. Well, not quite as soon as he can, but at least he gets it. T-7 strength for the center, going for the point here. We got 287 for 420. IncaUna so far on a nice lead over Miragefla. Miragefla definitely is going to need to work to turn that around. Mortar fire having out there for the mortars. Double mortars, a little mortar battery. Now I believe German doctrine prefer the mortars being spread out so they can support better. And possibly also just to decrease the ability of counterfire, just knocking out the mortars. So a little fun note there, though that's actually I think mostly defensively. May also have been offensively, but anyways, quick note there. Mortar fire running down in the maximum, almost got it wiped out. T-35 they're almost done. Oh, the Germans operate a variety of mortars. There was the initial sort of 5cm mortar, which I would say was a platoon level mortar, which eventually got phased out. Then you had the 80mm mortar, which actually for some time, obviously 82. Hang on, I actually got a chart. Yeah, 81mm mortar actually. It was actually designated initially as a heavy mortar, the Schwere Granatenwerfer. Then he's being pushed back here. Shifting forces eastwards. Mirage is still in the defensive. Then later on, they also had a Nebelwerfer, not later on, but actually had a Nebelwerfer at the start of the war. That was the 70 initial Nebelwerfer. There's a 105mm mortar, which was primarily used by Fallschirmjägers and the likes there. And then finally, you'd had, once they had contact with the Surge, they actually just straight up adopt the Surge HM38 120mm mortar as their own heavy mortar. A little fun fact there, and a small history of German mortars in World War II. Comes on the fire here, Stuke halfway done. That's going to be great versus the T-35s. Obviously a very potent choice there, particularly get up to. T-34 being pushed back with the Panther on the Pack 40. With no additional support for the T-35, any assault here is going to be a mistake there by IncaUna. I think he realizes that. Or at least can see that. After the Tier 2 plus the ace level, very good. They need to repair it though. T7 sending out. Troops have been forcing healing. In the east, we got the punch on fire from the T7 light tank. I do think he needs to spread out those mortars a bit with the same opponent having a heavy mortar out. I feel like this might be asking for trouble there from Miragefla. Again, I do understand the convenience of having both mortars next to each other, but it is nonetheless a bit risky. Still Miragefla pushing back here at IncaUna, who's struggling a bit here with Miragefla's armored assaults here across the front. His forceful attacks. Season needs some pointy with the Pioneer. More Grenadiers from Miragefla having suffered losses. You could also go for another Panzer Grenadier squad, to be honest. But whatever. Still need to fix up the 250 half track. Mortars being moved further close to the front and also spread out a bit. They are covered by the Stug, but they could be vulnerable to an infantry push here of sufficient speed here from IncaUna. Oh, now he's trying to counter his opponent's mortar. Also going the counter attack there, forcing the hay mortar to fall back. Pushing hard west, but also sneaking up the eastern side. We got a major effort in the east, but also a minor effort with some tanks in the west here, basically hoping to catch Miragefla off guard as he's focused pretty much everything on the center, meaning his wings are actually quite exposed. So, I mean, that's a pretty good idea there by IncaUna. The Miragefla could help deal with this by using the strafing round to slow down the assault and cause confusion and havoc, maybe set up for a counterattack through it. That could actually be quite good there from Miragefla. Though whether or not he commits to it is another matter. In fact, he may be setting up for the fragmentation bomb, which, you know, is also pretty good. In fact, it's very good. Panzerwing headed back up at the Panda 4. Almost got the field gun here. Almost got it. Heavy assault rifle there. Tank through the field gun crew. And there you go. Lands a great hit. Grenadiers in the center there. T70 getting off a hit, but they're taking a hit from the Pack 4 during the turn. Stupid moving forward. Panda 4 as well. The field gun cleared out. A big blow there to IncaUna. And there you go. Miragefla immediately and promptly destroys it, denying IncaUna its ability to get it back. Mortars they're taking a fine cut now from the hay mortar. Need to retreat that mortar with a half track nearby, which is fine been repaired by the way. Panda moving ahead with Stug support as well. Going for that T-35, almost got the heavy mortar. T-70 up the hit, T-35. Oh dear. Close one here though from Miragefla. Mortar though is down. He could actually grab and turn against IncaUna, but he's only got 2 mortars, and I think adding a hay mortar here would be a bit much. So he does promptly destroy, and I think that is a very good move. Plus, I mean, either way, he's still going to have 2 mortars, and his opponent's going to now have none. So I mean, he still effectively has the artillery advantage there. So good work there, Miragefla. Plus, of course, he has 2 sources of smoke streams, which can also be quite good under the right circumstances. Tier 4 here from Miragefla. Possible Tiger tank. Or possibly other things here from Miragefla. We'll have to see. I think if he's committing to it, he should at least consider the upper blitz and getting up the fuel point, so that way secure himself a lot of fuel. Oh, he also laid down S-mines here. Very nice. Thumbs up. Front specs advantage with the center. He's been going out in the T-35. Then he's holding up the half track there. Very close to the ace level on the 251-1 half track there. Also known as the Hanomag. This was made by the Hanomag company. I believe they're a bus making firm. Or at least they make buses now, maybe? There's something with buses involving them anyways. I believe I'm not entirely mistaken. Mortar firing down in the Maxim. Very, very, very close to this from that 250 half track. Panther moving ahead there. 13 kills, close to veteran to 1. T4 almost on it from Miragefla. IncaUna's going to need more T435s. And still some gas one thing could be a good addition here for IncaUna at some point. T4 on the right flank. Panther 4, Stug should be ready to deal with that one. Great hit from the T45 though. Panther 4 returns 5. Stug joins in as well there. Good hit. Stug is half A to veteran to 1. West side is seeing minimal action. I think Miragefla could easily fall to extension there, or IncaUna could try and set up for deep flank against Miragefla, but definitely feel like the west side could be a bit more active than it currently is. She's coming up with Grenadiers, need to be careful. Hay mortar hanging back, close to veteran T2. Minesweepers, good pick there by IncaUna. We got another T-35 than for IncaUna. Finally, could have definitely had that on much sooner there. Definitely a mistake there, I think, by IncaUna. Not a critical one, perhaps, but you know, the faster you get out more tanks and build up numbers, the better typically. Which is always the risk. Again, why trying to stall out for heavy tank is quite dangerous, and of course done incorrectly, just give your opponent plenty of time to like catch up with you and overwhelm you. Oh, hello. Fragmentation bombs. Gets the fielding crew, utterly slaughters it, and the guys standing up the half to deal with it. Good work. Thumbs up to Miragefla, good use of abilities. T's on the left flank, and there goes second T 3045 ready here for IncaUna and the Red Army. We got 233 to 39. Miragefla is suddenly getting control there, and we got a new officer of Miragefla. He has lost the Pentagon of these now permanently, has not replaced them. I'd like to see some replacements there personally. T's on the flank, using a bit of spotting there, possibly planning something against Miragefla. Beyond that, who knows what's going on? Who knows what's going on? Got the Orbital Blitz up there as well. I'll set them up. Fun fact about the German army, particularly the German army on the Eastern Front. But in particular during Operation Barbarossa, the German actually had a lot of trucks of different makes and varieties and nationalities, which makes, well, nationalities, but different national makes, which actually caused a huge significant logistical issue for the German army, since all those trucks needed spare parts and replacements, and it just, you know, it was very difficult in the attack to maintain them. So that's a significant issue for, like, you know, one army was operating with French trucks and then replacement parts for Austrian trucks, for example. So it was a bit of a mess then that way, and certainly did not help the German army on the Eastern Front. Season comes from about, he needs to retreat the MD-42 soon. Good chance of a quiet here from IncaUna, I think. And he does get it. And I think he actually has a chance of stealing it and turning against Miragefla here, which will certainly suck for him. Got the Pentagon up, the opponent put a stop to that. Shoots and misses. Oh boy. But there you go, it's going to be what the machine before it gets one, unless it gets really unlucky, which, you know, is not impossible. Tree went airborne, got it, but he could actually try and crude again, maybe. T-Fox moving on the eastern side, taking advantage of the chaos in the center here to suddenly rush this Stu, and attack here from the flank. Good push by IncaUna, good realization that Miragefla might have actually left himself open here. Maybe at least a good realization. There we go, got the Stu. Big blow that's Miragefla. Panther 4 in trouble as well, now being encircled by both T-45s there. Also very important, he actually prioritized the Stu go, the Panther Force, and the Stu was effectively the bigger threat with its high rate of fire, but also easier killed. Now trying to get the Panther out there, leaving the Pack 40 now exposed, for example. T-Sun moving up here, taking advantage of the T-34 being the main target, maybe clear that as well there. A strong push from IncaUna, which is just tearing through Miragefla like cholera through 18th century London. Half-track abandoned but not destroyed, Pack 40 wiped out, Mortars in a lot of trouble as well there. Panther 4 that's going here for the T-45. Oh, that might just undermine all of IncaUna's efforts. Now the Panther 4 from Miragefla. Things should be going for Stooks here. IncaUna should need more tanks. Things going to grab that Pack 40 as he could do so. We got counter-attack here from Miragefla. There's plenty of forces. About to get that T-45. There we go. But he's almost losing the Panther 4 as well. Shot bounces. Oh, scheisse. I imagine the crew goes, so kablooey. We lived! We lived! Mortar down as well. Oh dear, Miragefla is taking a drubbing here from IncaUna. Panther 5 goes off there, took a bit of a while. Panther 14 with advancing troops gets a wipe though, and destroys the half-tech, ensuring that Miragefla can't get it back, and obviously he was caught away, he could not make it back with it himself. Need to put back the T-45 for repairs, need to bring up another one soon. Second Panther 4 ready here for Miragefla and the German army. We've got 180 versus 389. Miragefla is really starting to lag behind here. IncaUna needs to do something about that really fast before he risks losing the match. Maximum of 5 from the Panther 4 charging in there. Very good push, very good push. Very nice strike. Another T-45 there on the way. Miragefla is getting very aggressive here. Very confident it seems. Then his opponent somehow can't get that T-45 operable and then bring up another one to maybe pounce on this T-45 or Panther 4 here and beat it into the dust. West side going to need advancing. Back in Miragefla's base. Healing reinforcement going there. Panther 4. Halfway to the ace level. 34 kills though. Oh, Blitz continue providing fuel and munitions. IncaUna's T-flip advancing for the 10th Tank Corps. And we can see the Miragefla's falling back in the center as this Soviet armored fist is striking. But there you go. Pack 40 ready. He was sniped to destroy it tonight. 2 Mirageflas. So Miragefla has it back in working order. Preventing a direct push here by IncaUna for the center without artillery support. And IncaUna has not replaced his heavy mortar, nor has gone for CoH2, so he has no way of easily sort of dealing with that. Going forward for victory points at the same time, Miragefla of course realizes he needs to stop the flow of victory points soon, or he is out. T-flip shoots in the Panther 4 shot bounces off the frontal armor. Heavy mortar continues to ring down. More shots fired. Maximum taking losses there. It's close to victory 2. East side victory point halfway roughly there. Got the western point. They're going the western field point as well. Maximum getting bombarded. And he's got the consequent buildings of Pioneers and routing them. 7 kills there. Ace level. IncaUna can soon go for another T-35. We could of course go for an S-35. He could also, be a bit bold and try and go for W-26 to back with the 2 T-35s. Another fragmentation bomb ready here for Miragefla. We'll have to see what he goes for next. Will it be more Panther 4s? Will it be Stugs? Osvins? Will be transferred up for a Tiger tank? Counter right here by the Panther 4s. On the west, we got the T moving about. He's striking at some troops isolated in the west. We got a fragmentation bomb called in the fuel point. 2 conscripts next to each other. Angle called in from. Bold one there. But in this case, dodged here by IncaUna. Shame there for Miragefla. Obviously, good result there for IncaUna. But his opponent just wasted 180 munitions on him. That's great. Another T-flip on the way for IncaUna. Miragefla bring up another Sturmgeschützstrike as für G. Panther 4 game into 1. The other one is ever closer to the ace level there. 37 kills. 37. T-flips hanging back. Grab the eastern point. Machine gun up in the center. Stu slowly getting ready. And there goes Stuke 3G almost ready there. Almost 30 T-35 ready. I mean, that's a lot of armor here from IncaUna. That is a lot of armor. And I believe he still has a resource or correlation cap to then go for a 4th one. I mean, 4 T-35 would be quite a problem for Miragefla to deal with. But of course, I mean, IncaUna makes mistakes now with the 3 T-35s to make up match. There you go, mark target going here, making for the more veteran. We got the Pack 40 backing up. We got the Stuke charging in as well. Here's Sunny turning the tail of IncaUna. Very committed to this assault. If you can get away with the Panther, of course, would be great, but it's also risking losing the T-35s here. Circling about him, Miragefla got the Panther 4 though. Straight into the Grenadiers. Stu Gold's in trouble now, focusing it down. Sadly though, there's one major issue with this attack, which is there's no infantry support. That is definitely a problem. His T-35 taking a lot of damage. He might take out Stu. He's likely going to take out the Stu. He loses another T-35, and that's the problem here. I mean, sure, he got eventually 2 Panther 4, almost ace level Panther 4, but he lost 2 T-35s there. Which rather undercuts it. Yeah, that was not a well-executed assault, I think, by IncaUna in the end. Ends up costing him a lot here versus Miragefla. Ends up costing him a lot. Counter charging at the Panther 4. Got the T-35 though. Leaving IncaUna now with just the T's and light tank. 9 to tank weapons either. This is a good tactical victory here from Miragefla. He did suffer some casualties, but in the end he came ahead of that engagement with his opponent again having next to armor. That was a poorly executed attack. They should have supported by infantry and possibly some artillery. The Pack 4 of course proved crucial and just overall the numbers did. Whereas again IncaUna just charging with this tank. There's no troops to back them up. Nothing. That was a real issue there for IncaUna and really made it much easier for Miragefla to handle the attacking armor. Losing a bit of trouble. Panther 4 going here for the T-7 light tank. Field on the way there for IncaUna. I mean, IncaUna still has a significant victory point lead over Miragefla. Still control most of the victory points. It's obviously not GG here yet, but IncaUna's going to have to do some serious work here to right his course again. After that rather hazardous assault, that ended up again being quite costly for them. Consequently, he could take out the mortar and perhaps steal it. I mean, any other support that IncaUna to get into that would be quite helpful. Filgun is ready, Max moving in from the side as well. Get out the mortar. Will he turn it against his opponent? Quick charge here on the Panzer 4. Damage engine, maximum MG42 dealing with advancing conscripts, hosing them down with MG42. 5 Panzer 4 joining in, casualties piling up here on both sides. But Miragefla stands his ground. In the face of IncaUna's continued assault. Panzer 4 is not trouble with Filgun joining in. Marking it as well here. Almost got the Panzer 4. One more shot and it's going to be down. Got the T-Sun moving in here. And he gets the Panzer 4. Helping to close the gap between him and Miragefla. But he loses the Ace T-70. That quickly undercuts any gains that IncaUna might have gained. Though he can soon go for T-45. And he can do that, which he should. I mean, he should be able to make up for this at least somewhat. So, continued brutal fighting here between Miragefla and IncaUna. Neither side showing the other one much mercy or consideration. With heavy casualties so far on both sides. We got all those boosts in the nearby grenadiers. Very good there. 2 thumbs up to Miragefla. Hobbs moving in there. 4 kill threats into 1. Another pack forward from Miragefla. He's obviously worried about enemy armor. They could, of course, just go for another Stug. He's routed. IncaUna is ever close to that T-45. He has to feel he just needs to save up the manpower. But his infantry, of course, is taking quite some bleeding as well. Making it hard for him to save up the manpower needed for that T-45, despite how crucial the T-35 is right now and how much of an advantage a T-35 right now would give him over Miragefla. He's flanking against the conscripts. Got these to make point again, 132 versus 328. Another MG42 for Miragefla. He can go for the T-35 in a few seconds now. But will he go for it? Yup. Well, there was mostly no doubt. There were still like options, like say, I don't know, going for T-Fed for some 6, that'd be a bit silly. Or like Katyusha maybe, though I would not advise that until either gets out more armor. But Miragefla would, oh, got up another gun of these. Miragefla's trying to run short infantry again. The finale he has parity with IncaUna, who still I think would also benefit from the Guards Riflemen. I'm in fact surprised we haven't seen any of them here from IncaUna and the Red Army. Machine sitting up here behind the overturned T-34-85. More something in the Maxim. We got here 5 kills, we got 0 kills, and the of course did get cleared out. But he recruited and denied to IncaUna. Flank assault there thoroughly halted by Miragefla and the 13th Panzer Division. Another T-35 there ready for IncaUna and the Red Army. Charging ahead here with 1 kill. And another Panzer from Miragefla. Apparently cancelled his second pack 40, he just lost it. I don't think that makes sense, so yeah, he cancelled it. And I think he'd be better off with the Stug than as the T-35. But here we are, Graham Leeson problem on these, Graham Leeson victory point, so we got 131 versus 320. IncaUna still has a significant victory point leader Mirage. On the west side we got pumping seized here by IncaUna's engineers. Good work here, back here, healing enforcement for Miragefla. T-35 moving out. Going for this gun, be a shot fire with its main gun. Using the center point. Back here, reinforcement healing. Got that Panther almost ready. There we go. Another Panther ready from Miragefla for the German army. Pack 40 up, gunning holding up here. Machine in a bit of trouble, about to get swarmed. Pack 40 opening up. Almost. Got a hit there, but not quite. There you go. That's a proper hit. They're close to 52 in the west side. Point being secured. We got 130 versus 315. Situation continues to be rather tense here, and there you go. Panther 4 being met with field gun fire, of course, a swarm of conscripts, all wishing to pelt it with anti-tank grenades. But there you go, quickly pushed off here. Even also decent victory point and the control there of Miragefla for now, and the 13th Panzer Division. Another hit from the field in the Panther 4, pushing it back once more. Might want to get his mortars in there to deal with this. Lay down the smoke and then push him with infantry and armour could be a good idea for Miragefla. We'll see though, we'll have to see. Both sides could definitely do with a bit more. But Miragefla seems to need, in terms of foresight, to be a bit better off. The victory points wise, there's still much to be done. That's one mistake he could still end up costing Miragefla the match. Of one, mess up. More Grenadiers from Miragefla. Still no sign of additional Panzer Grenadiers here. Bit of a shame, Would like to see more Panzer Grenadier there personally. Modifying the field gun and the machine gun there. So he has brought up the Veteran 3 mortar and the Veteran 1. No smoke screens though. No smoke screens. Roughing over the conscripts there. Bit of light damage machine gun joining in the west side. In the centre, we've got to push up here into another MG42. There we go, comes from the front from the mortar. Yuri drops dead, and the rest basically back off before they get exploded into the ground by the heavy mortar fire there from Miragefla's mortar in the centre of the assault. Almost managed to break the neck off, so the conscripts got bitches through there, but T-45 is arriving. Another T-45 on the way for IncaUna. 4 kills on the T-45. Panzer 4 moving up. Pack 40 is nowhere to be seen. He's on the right flank there. Panzer 1 getting the T-35. Second one ready. Field gun supporting. Panzer 4 taking damage. He's advancing through withering hailstorms of machine gun fire here from Miragefla's MG42. Second T-35 arriving. IncaUna could still benefit a lot from artillery here versus Miragefla. Hey, mortar again maybe. Field gun firing there. Mortar with 5 and with 1 kill. Bring up the T-55 on the right flank. Pack 40 gets a good hit. But the Panther Force and Acting Trolley got Mark vehicle on this road. The Pioneer's being blasted. Could be another sting blow to Miragefla. Will IncaUna commit to the Panther 4? Yorkshire get rid of the Pack 40 in some way. Oh, he continues. Shoots, misses. Orbital Blitz somehow managed to narrowly avoid getting hit by the T-45. He's trying to take out that Panther 4 thing. He's disengaged. Another shoot on from Miragefla. Very good. Back off, IncaUna. Back off. Oh, he's committed to it. He wants that Panther 4 dead. Almost got it. He actually is looking like he might actually be able to make it pay off anyways. And the Panther 4 is down. He should take the path and get away. No, he's going to go straight back through Miragefla's front line for some reason. Right past the pack. No idea what caused IncaUna to do. Maybe a misclick, maybe a mistake, input delay. I don't know, but if he'd just taken the path here, his T-45 would have been safe. Of course, he might be worried about mines, but I mean, even though there were mines, like, he'd still be safer going this way. So I don't know what happened there for IncaUna. Again, lots of options though. I think what makes it even worse here though for IncaUna is one of them got abandoned. That's really dangerous there for IncaUna. Of course, as absolutely amazing there from the last, but further punishing IncaUna there with his only aggressively armoured assaults there with insufficient support. Grenadiers being hammered there by the field guns, high explosive shells. We could see a wipe here. Oh no! Avoiding it though very narrowly. We also got air support on these two with the Stukas. Laying down machine gun fire. Grenadiers isolated here by these fuel pump closing over that. Another field gun for IncaUna. He's obviously realized he's going to need more here versus the T-45. Smoke screens here. I think from the officer. Yes, indeed. Thumbs up there. And he's fixing up the T-45, getting ready for the next fight here against the Soviets this time around. On the field gun, they're almost done. Back here, reinforcement hitting from Miragefla. All Blitz continue cooperating with munitions and fuel. T-3045 there, slowly being fixed up. Obviously takes a bit of a while there. Right, the conscripts. Shot fire. Fun fact, the Germans made extensive use of captured enemy vehicles and equipment and tanks. Though, for example, the Surge, they only really had, like, at least officially on paper, any number, only a maximum of 300 so tanks under the service. That's still, a reasonable amount of tanks. But of course, just not in, entire units. Like, it's not like it had an entire Panzer Division equipped with the T-35. So like being like a tank here, a tank there, a tank there. Maybe like a small company in there. For example, I think it was like the 3rd SS around, I think it was maybe the Battle of Kursk, had like, you know, companies worth of T-35s, maybe before that, can't remember. But basically at some point they had managed to capture a Soviet tank workshop and actually had a whole company's worth of T-34 76s. But again, it'd be like, you know, different engagements here. They'd have some tanks, and even then, of course, the crucial thing to remember is, you know, they didn't always fully report to headquarters how many tanks they actually had under command, because they would usually expect to hand them over to the, you know, high command. So they might have been more under, you know, German control, but again, they didn't report it because they'd risk having to lose them. So a little fun fact there. Oh wait, German T-35 there. We've got troops advancing and coming on the west side here as well. There's certainly been a chance, I think, to get back, because now Miragefla has 2 tanks. Pretty fast. One, of course, can take a few more hits, like the T-45 there. It makes it much easier for Miragefla to build up a force around this. So definitely a bit of a challenge here for IncaUna. Definitely a bit of a challenge. He still has the victory point lead. He could still win this on victory points, but the challenge is without a doubt increasing here on IncaUna's shoulders. Fixing up the tanks here, including, of course, the T-35 later down the road. Mortar fire continues to be quite effective. We've got 10 kills. We've got 6 kills on the other one. Those Granada maps definitely proved to be, I think, a good investment here for Miragefla overall, so thumbs up there. Meanwhile, IncaUna has not proven to be a bigger fan of artillery, despite, again, Miragefla's artillery here has been, you know, quite effective. So using the pointing in the east. Control, they almost taken up by the mortars. 14 and 7 kills. Another Grenadier squad from Miragefla. Still no Panzer Grenadiers. Still a bit of a shame. Anyway, so it's up the T-34-85 here. Note the Germans were actually known for applying armoured side skirts to even the T-34s. I know they at least had them on the T-34s from 6s, and not be surprised to know T-35-85s. They also used it to apply side skirts to them as well. They'd be very similar looking to like what they had for some of the Yak Panzers. You know, not as big as the Panther, but you know, enough to cover the sort of tread bits there as well. So another little fun fact there. There's also not uncommon to like apply other smaller modifications. Like, you know, for example, on the T-34s, applying a different cupola, so they had, like, you know, better line of sight and all that through it. So a few fun facts there. Comes on the front from T-35 and the Panther 4 catches piling up at the front of it. We've got 4 kills here, and we got 4 kills. T-35 was striking the Panther 4 damage engine here. On it, inbound, definitely tank grenade. Miragefla could soon go for another Panther 4. Or, of course, could be really bold enough to try and go for the Tiger tank here. Maybe try and seal off the fight that way. Though, of course, would be incredibly risky since he's still very low on victory points. And honestly, just needs whatever he can get now. Obviously being pushed back. You've got Smokeson called in there. Could allow for an assault here. But no assault troops nearby. Or assault forces. T-35 and Panther 4, of course, also need repairs. He can't make a push for those either. You've got fun here and fun in the west. We up to these in the NG-42. Very good there. And we got the field gun sitting bad with the mortars. The mortars themselves are in a safe position, actually. So again, Dom mortars here, 15 kills and 8 kills. But to look 23. Definitely a problem there for IncaUna, and again, a really good investment there for Miragefla. So again, thumbs up. Max on the ground, the Grenadiers and these. On the west side, we've got Grenadiers versus the Conscript with the T-35. We've got 2 kills on it. T-35 moving westwards. Pack reinforcing. Rifle grenade off. Conscripts dodge that one. Bit optimistic there by Miragefla. We got 45 to 231. Like, there's still a chance that IncaUna can win with the victory points, but like he needs to be a bit smarter about this. He can actually hold them for longer periods of time because otherwise Miragefla is just going to crush him with his larger numbers, and of course more tanks. And he's still got another Panther on the way there, that's going to give him like a small platoon there of tanks, which is definitely going to be tough there for IncaUna to deal with, even with the double field guns. Also calling in smoke here on the eastern victory point. Good work. Thumbs up. 2 in fact, though. Inch enough, no smoke from the mortars, unfortunately. Mortar here on the opposite. T-35 moving up here. Assist. Could do, of course, doing more support. Panther repaired meanwhile. Gets the maximum there in an unexpected angle. Got 6 kills on the T-35. 7 kills. And we got 9 kills. We got the officer calling artillery as well on the conscripts there. T-35 joining in. If he doesn't move out soon, it's going to get wiped. Officer down to 1 man. Mechanized flee the ace level. Oh dear, heavy mortar fire rains down. The conscripts there. Oh! Dog is most of it, but not the T-35. We've got 12 kills in the center. We've got to push here as well. We've got machine guns being blasted. Mortar cleared out by the field guns. Oh dear. Bit of blow there to Miragefla. We got 36 to 231 here. Panda 4, T5 flanking behind here, going for the field guns. You can get rid of those, of course. Then IncaUna has no real way of seriously stopping all of this armor that Miragefla has assembled. They're currently his backbone, his linchpin, his anchor. Without those, he's adrift in a sea of German sealing. Well, there's one Soviet tank as well. One field gun down here. This is quickly turning up for IncaUna. Tank continue the assault here. T5 from them two almost getting wiped out here as well. Tanks continue to bombard. Shots flying, screaming and hurtling through the air. And there you go. Field gun destroyed. Both cleared out and about to destroy the second one. T5 up shoots and misses the German T5 up. We got 16 kills. We got 7 kills. We got 4 kills. Pulling back here with all tanks, and now IncaUna is in a pretty bad place. He's got no real anti-tank weapons left. His opponent has significantly larger armored numbers. Again, the only real chance IncaUna has now is to somehow pull off an absolute feint and grab all 3 victory points and hold them for long enough. It's not impossible, but it's going to be really tough, and it will to an extent rely on him after either being completely caught off guard or making some sort of mistake that actually makes this work. So it can happen, but a lot of things are going to have to align here correctly. A lot of things. T5 almost done. German T5 have the 16 kills. Veteran 2-1. One more to firing down there. Second T5 almost done. Western point open for a possible rush here by IncaUna. Smoking in the center. Very good. Moving the opposite block here. We've got 31% on 85. And also we've got 1 victory point left. T5 versus T35. We've got the Pack 40 plus going to be used here. Pushing back IncaUna's T34-85. Meanwhile, they got the Panther Force going for the other T35 there. Getting up. Double trouble there, but there going to tank grenade. Damage 1 Panther 4. Making a much easier target. Grenades flanking the Maxim. Pushing away here. We got 31 versus 179. Conscripts Maximum routed. Holding the front line here valiantly. IncaUna's odds are starting to look a bit awkward. 31 versus 176. Clearly a believer in victory against the fascists, but he is struggling to grasp it. Panther 4 there bouncing a shot here. T5 continue to hammer away there to pummel feverishly at the fascist armor. Also on the back here, going to procure that machine gun, turning against IncaUna again. There we go. Fixing up the T34-85. Could consider some machine gun bunkers. That could be a good idea here for Miragefla. Continuing eastwards. 18 kills, veteran 3. Panther moving up, shoots, misses. Who's being murdered out in the open. More fun that comes from the east. Good hit. Not enough to be fatal, but you know, good hit, good hit. Nice hit on the Maxim. IncaUna probably trying to figure out how he wants to do this. His victory points taking out. Meanwhile, Miragefla is looking pretty stable at the moment. Pushing each to the T35, catching the counter there. We got 17 kills, 18 kills. The counter there holding their ground. But for how long and for what good can they actually hold it? There you go. Got the point. Slung down the victory point, bleed, but certainly every chance they do get wiped with the T5 with 21 kills now. And the T35 is starting to look like it's going to do more good for Miragefla than it's going to do it for IncaUna. T35 moving eastwards, filling away there for IncaUna. Making that push, advancing here through the S-mine field. Then isn't a fire here. We got 3113. German T-35 moving up. They're close 32. Good hit from the T-35. And the center another push here is being buried beneath Miragefla's defenses. Mortar joining in there. 17 kills. 98 points left for IncaUna. He still believes in victory. Still thinks he has a chance. That or he's being threatened with a trip to the Gulag if he doesn't fight to the last man here. He's moving westwards. Molotov on the machine gun. Comes to the closing right over the Panther on the Molotov. There you go. Down they go. Obliterate it. Charging the teeth off of the anti-tank grenade. Damaging his engine. 23 kills though. 25. Very close to 52 there on the T-45. T-45 on the right flank. Pack for the ready. Ambushing the T-35. Will he lose it? Looks like it. Miragefla's T-35 served valiantly, but oh, no. It actually survives by the looks of it. That's close. Meanwhile, stun run and then T-35 forces that to fall back. Panther Force moving in. It's going to try and finish them off here. An aggressive move by Miragefla. Could win them game, but could also cost them the game. If he loses those Panther Force, it could actually give IncaUna opening to just push through. He's quickly bleeding out victory points. We've got 64 now versus Miragefla 31. T-35 almost down. Panther Force backing off though. Damage engine 1 of the Panther Force. Push here by IncaUna. We got 58 versus 31. 55. The victory points are taking down rapidly. IncaUna, the pushes forward, and there's got a machine gun on the east side. Very good. T-35's continuing the advance. Pack 4 turning around there. The assault continues. It's all or nothing. Do or die. It's Berlin or it's Gulag time for IncaUna. T-35 Miragefla sending it in there for some reason. He's just doing it to taunt his opponent. I don't know. Eventually 2 gained. Loses it. Bit of a waste really. We got 31 versus 28. Push out the west side here. IncaUna has by now committed everything he has. And he's lost more or less everything. As me on the Miragefla that's most. But again, if somehow he can carry up those victory points, of course it would work out, but he can't. He's got 1 victory point, but he's still bleeding. Another con squad here, but now I think it doesn't matter. We got 14 versus 31. Well, he's finally calling in guardsmen. The match is almost lasted an hour. It's only at the very end, when everything is on the line, that he calls in the guardsmen. 31 versus 10. 31 versus 9. 31 versus 8. IncaUna throws it forwards. Comes flying in here. Six points left. Miragefla's throwing in for the victory point as well there to hold it. Rendered neutral though. Of course, if we can rush the eastern victory point there, it'll be fine. Always all going there. Mortar cleared out the field guns. That mortar's really done great there for Miragefla. Almost got the guard squad there. Machine gun routed. Maximum pressing with the officer there with ace level. We got 13 kills on there. Go. Conscript routed as well. And with this, IncaUna surrenders. A loss here for the Red Army. Just as Miragefla could have called in the targeting, but that way, there you go. GG, game over. A loss for the Red Army. A victory for the German Army. A brutal war of sheer assault and back and forth maneuvering here on Crossing in the Woods. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for another exciting episode.